Creamer Media's Mining Weekly is speaking to Anthony Viljoen, the CEO of AfriTin, which is listed on the AIM in London and which is mining tin very successfully in Namibia. Anthony, Mining Weekly would like to talk to you today about the green attributes of tin.
What people don't realize is that tin is actually the glue that holds the whole electronic world together. All of your microchips and your semiconductors are all made out of tin. What people fail to understand, when they talk about a shortage of semiconductors and they talk about the advent of new technologies and new batteries, the underlying sort of component that's missing from all of this is your semiconductors. And you'll read in most newspapers about the shortage of semiconductors, but the real shortage is in the raw materials, and tin is one of those raw materials that is going to literally glue the whole new technology and green revolution together.
My mom used to send me to the shop and she used to say, "Get me a tin of jam." And I always associated tin with packaging. So what is the main role? What are the traditional roles? And can you just give us an insight into the total picture?
Tin's always been regarded exactly as you've said with tin cans. In fact, they were actually steel cans that had tin plate inside them. So it's a bit of a misnomer of calling them pure tin cans. But what happened in the mid sort of 2000s is a lot of your electronic boards, those green electronic boards with all of those silver dots. Those silver dots were actually represented, they were made of an alloy of tin and lead. And what happened is when people realized that lead had detrimental health effects, they banned lead in all of these electronic equipment. And since then, the solder application has driven the tin demand. So you'll see that since mid sort of 2005, the tin demand has just gone through the roof, and 60% of its use is actually in electronic solder. So that's the main use. But where we are quite excited is that not only is the solder market just going sort of crazy at the moment, but there's a whole lot of new applications, specifically around lithium batteries. They're thinking of using tin casing to extend the life of your lithium batteries, to extend the charge. So although it's been relatively under the radar, I think that you're going to be hearing a lot more about tin. And you also notice that in the last 30 years, all the big mining companies have not been involved in tin and have moved out of exploration. There's just no new industrial scale mines that are coming on stream to provide tin concentrate into the market. So, we're at the forefront in that we're one of the very few new industrial mines. We've got our colleagues obviously in the DRC, but outside of that, the lack of exploration in the last 30 years has created a massive deficit in the yearly tin requirements.
What sort of prices is tin going at the moment?
It's going at $33,000 a ton, almost all-time highs, and that's both on the London Metal Exchange and on the Shanghai Metal Exchange. So it's just sort of apparent that there is this pinch point in the markets that's really pushing that equilibrium price quite substantially higher.
What was the price that you imagined would be when you took this decision to mine at Wyss?
So all of our models, you'll never believe it, Martin, are based on $20,000 a ton. And that to get our mine up and running and making a profit, if you're sitting at $20,000 a ton, we would be happy. So you can imagine things are very rosy in the world of AfriTin at the moment.
Tell us about your production.
We've taken a phased approach to development. The resource that we've got in Wyss is just phenomenally big. It really is. It's one of the biggest I've seen in the world. It's an open cast proposition. So what we've done is, we wanted to take advantage of the dynamics in the tin market. So we went straight into digging holes using a lot of the old ISCOR data. Phase one, we got into production in December. But because of the gravity-based nature of the plant, it's all about flow dynamics and making sure that the material runs through your plant as efficiently as possible. So there are a few areas that we believe we can expand on, and the modular nature of the plant allows us to expand it. So we're going to undertake that in the next couple of months and expand that production. Steady state production is 60 tons of tin concentrate a month. And we believe we could push that up over 100, maybe even 120 tons of tin concentrate a month with our expansion plans. But the real sort of gem of this deposit is our expanded phase 2, where we want to go from sort of producing around, to call it 1,200 tons of tin a year. And we believe we can expand that to 8 to 10 times by building a much bigger plant and expanding our footprint to exploit the sheer size of this resource.
How will you go about funding that expansion?
We've got really strong share register. So we've raised significant equity at this stage that will get us to that point. We are also speaking to a lot of the local banks in Namibia and abroad. Namibia is a very investor-friendly destination to invest in. And, I believe we can get project financing very easily for phase 2 for that expansion. For the bigger plant, we'll probably be looking in the region of about 100 to 200 million US dollars. Obviously, the broad range is dependent on our trade-off feasibility studies that we're in the process of completing. So once we've got a little bit of better handle on that, we'll be able to understand that. But I also need to tell you, Martin, something that we've stumbled upon, which is quite unique about this deposit, is that when ISCOR mined it, they mined it solely for tin, which was our initial intention. But as we've confirmed the historic resource, we've also, luckily enough, or you make your own luck, but luckily enough, stumbled upon one of the biggest lithium deposits on the planet, hard rock lithium deposits. And so the potential to have a polymetallic revenue streams is really something that will sort of take this from a great deposit into something that will be a deposit of global significance for the new electronic revolution.
And how do you market your tin, and how will you market your lithium?
So we sell our tin at the moment directly to the smelters in Thailand. There's two big smelters that take all the tin concentrate in the world. So we've got a very good relationship with our offtake partners, Thai Sarco. We've got a 3-year offtake arrangement that's renewable. And so we've got very favorable logistics costs from mine gate all the way to Thailand. It's only costs us $150 US a ton. So very efficient logistics routes, and we sell it directly to the smelter. So we've got that direct relationship. With the lithium, I don't think there'll be a shortage of offtake partners for the lithium, given that the dynamics there are just probably even double what tin is at the moment. And
when do you expect to be producing lithium?
So it could be as early as the end of the year. We've undertaken a whole metallurgical test work program just to identify the most efficient route in terms of extracting the byproducts credits. So we're busy with that at the moment. Those results should be out in the next couple of months, hopefully. And then that will give us a much clearer indication of the recoveries and the scalability of that lithium byproduct stream. But for all intents and purposes, with the existing literature that we have, should be a relatively straightforward modular add-on to the existing circuit. Our immediate profile in the next 5 years, we want to have revenues in excess of $500 million a year. We want to grow AfriTin not only in Namibia, but in the region itself. We've got ambitions for not only one mine, but for a number of mines. And we want to be the new technology champions of Africa. We've had successes before in the past that you're familiar with, and we want to build on that success, and we want to really fit in the niche of providing minerals for the electronic revolution.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, speaking to Anthony Viljoen, the CEO of AfriTin, which is listed on the AIM in London and which is mining in Namibia.